Hello everyone, Suffolk Hobbit, and here I am again. This is finally my showcase of my Imperial Guard. This is or Astra Militarum, should I say. And this is the Mordian Ironguard army I've been collecting for past couple of years on and off, as and when time permits sort of thing. Mainly on eBay now, because sadly a lot of these guys aren't made anymore, it's out of production. Such a shame. All the old 90s, as I call them, Imperial Guard models have all, Mordian Ironguard, you can luckily still get the squad, which is just a las rifle squad, just the infantryman with the sergeant. All the special weapons, all the heavy weapons, they've all gone now. Same with a lot of them. You've got the Valhallans and Talon are still there to an extent, but it's they're going. It's a shame, but yeah, here they are. Really chuffed for them. Originally, the themes you can probably see they're red and white. I was aiming to actually get a Praetorian army because funny enough I watched in Zulu Dawn, so I thought, do you know what, that'd be awesome. Thought, hang on, use it for Games Workshop, that'd be really cool. But again, they're out of production and eBay do fetch silly prices. There's loads of choice, it's all on there, but it's so expensive, and basically they're nothing more than slightly remodelled versions of the Mordian Ironguard. Simply just got the Praetorian style helmet. I think they made a specific model for the Praetorians. I think they had a hornblower as a musician and a standard bearer type model, but overall it's still the same, so I just thought sod it. Go for the Mordian Ironguard, you can't go wrong. Really cool models, they're probably my favourite. I wish Games Workshop would make a new version of them, maybe, do something different. But they probably won't. I think it's going to stick with the Catchins, New Cadians, and the Vostroyan. Is it the Vostroyan? But even then, saying that, you don't seem to see much of them now, so I think they're starting to phase them all out, really. It's a shame. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. Here is my unit, or little army as you want to call it. So, first up, we've got the HQ squad. Right, now, for dedicated Imperial Guard fans out there, or Astra Militarum fans, you'll recognise this geezer. It's Colonel Schaffer, the Last Chance's fame. I see him years ago, one of the first White Dwarfs I got. It's a battle report when they first released City Fight, funnily enough, and they used him in a Cadian army, the 122nd against the Chaos Space Marines in a battle report. Really cool battle report, really good. And I always thought, wow, he makes an awesome model. Of course, I didn't realise who he was until I finally looked at the box set and realised who he was. I thought, I've got to have him. Got him on eBay. Years and years and years later, obviously, got him on eBay, £5, I think it was, £6, something like that. Really cool. I've painted him up. Obviously, got his arm all showing, got gold. Of course, he's the Colonel. Of course, he is. Obviously, he's not Colonel Schaffer for this army, but still awesome. Painted him up, red, got all the bits and things on. Really snazzy looking model. Really chuffed. Got his cigar still, power sword. Really chuffed. We have a conversion here for a medic. He's got the old Cadian comlink bag, sack, whatever you want to call it. All I do with that is simply take off the aerial, filed it down to make a gap for his hand, and then simply it looks like he's carrying it. And there's our medic. Really chuffed with him. Got a little red cross band there, a little bit on his back as well. Use him as a medic in gaming terms, or if not, just simply just as a rifleman, whatever sort of thing. I've got a different paint scheme for this chap, the sort of regimental sergeant major. I've sort of made him out to be. It's all in white, all lapelled up, looking really snazzy, really cool. He's got the actual the main standard as it is. I can't think what we call it now for the codex, but he's the main one. Freehand, little Grim Reaper looking sort of dude there. I've got the first written there, freehand. This is the first squad, the first platoon, so this will be the first, obviously. And you finish off with a little comlink dude. Got the new Cadians plastic set comms link, and finish it off with the multi-melter, just for a bit of heavy tank busting, heavy opponents use him. That's the plan in the games. They're eventually going to be in a Chimera, which I haven't got yet, but they were in a Chimera. I thought they need a bit of heavy hitting stuff, so got a multi-melter. You can't go wrong with that. Well, you can, but it looks cool. And next up we've got the command squad. I think it's the command squad, I've got that right around. He's command squad. He's got a Mordian lieutenant, painted up nice. You can't quite see the red highlights on this, but they are there. Did it really smart. Got a bit of gold trim on his armour. Really cool bolt pistol. And look at the detail on the old bolt pistol there. You can just see it, the wings coming off his old bolter there. Zoom in. There we go. Just about to see it. Really cool. Cool little model. Very dynamic. It's probably one of my favourite lieutenant models, actually. Fun enough. Then you've got a flamethrower, got the grenade launcher, another comms link, Then you got another flag. This is the other battle stand you can get. I'm really pleased with this, how this come out. Freehand candle with wings. It's really cool. You'll notice, those of you eagle-eyed people will see that it's actually Space Marine banners these are, but I thought I'd use them anyway. I think I prefer them to the flags, to be honest. And he's actually a tank commander, but I thought he'll do. That look cool. He's got the lapel, so it sort of blends in a bit with the army. So I thought, why not use him as a model rather than let him go to waste? Go for that. I don't, in terms of, I try and get a bit of a realistic theme, to be honest, with the armies and stuff. And I don't really understand why you'd have loads of blokes, if the war-torn universe sort of thing with the blokes sat above the tank shooting his little gun. Just seems a bit daft, really, when he's sat on what is a massive gun. Surely the tanks realistically wouldn't get that close, but that's all good. That's my opinion. So that's the command squad. Really pleased with them. Really cool. All good models. Really, really good models. You can't, I prefer the metal models still. Plastic stuff is good. It's getting really good now, but you just can't beat it. It's just cool. The Perry brothers and all the rest that made these back in the day. Little fuel canister there, little warning marks on stuff. You can't. Yeah, it's really cool. Really, really good. Anyway, so next squad. So squad number 1. So you got sergeant with auto pistol, chainsword, 8 riflemen, and another multi-melter. So this will be another team where they'd be used as more of a heavy hitting platoon. If I can get them close enough, we'll use them preferably against something a bit more, strength behind it. The multi-melter is going to be the one to use for that. We have then got squad number 2. Grenade launcher this time, Bosch. Looking good. And of course las cannon. I've gone for a little bit of sort of a tally chart thing going on there. Just make it look like they're counting down the enemies they've destroyed, sort of thing. Cool little models there. You got a dude there with his secondary backup pack and things there. Cool little model. I do like the little metal heavy weapon teams. I think they're good, really cool. And of course more riflemen. Really chuffed for them. I've just repainted all these bases grey. They were originally brown. I've repainted them grey to go with the Dark Elder army I'm buying. I want to have the same sort of theme bases. So I'm going to have a real sort of sci-fi style battle battle table in the future. So I've gone back over them again, so I'm going to sort of add some weird tufts of sort of maybe different colour grass or something, make them a bit different. I want to create a whole sort of story to go with these guys. Give them a bit of a sort of fluff story and things, but that's the second squad. Third squad, you have heavy bolter, a grenade launcher, and of course some more riflemen. Another sergeant. You'll recognise that this sergeant, my sergeant major here, he is obviously just simple converted version of this guy. Simple as that. Just take a pistol off, Bosch, away you go. All the lapels, all very cool. I've painted stripes on all of them as well. Sergeants all have stripes on. I've even got some corporals and lance corporals painted up on a lot of the infantrymen and things. Trying to see where they are now. They're all on here somewhere. You might be able to see them better than I can. There's a corporal stripe there. Look, but I've tried to make it look realistic, make it look there's more stripes and different sort of ranks and things going on. Just make them try and seem a bit more modern, a bit more realistic than that. So there they all are, really chuffed with them. Got a missile launcher team, won them on a bid on eBay. Didn't cost me too much actually, considering how much these can go for, because these are actually quite rare. Really rare actually, the missile launcher teams. Obviously weren't bought much by people, if they are, people are keeping hold of them, which I can't blame them. But you gotta have some missile launchers, I think. Choice of missiles and stuff, you can't go wrong. So yeah, there he is, missile launcher. Dude with a little holding a backup missile, and if you look on the back, details gone so far, so even have 3 more pouches for more missiles. So again, it's all the little touches on these old models that are cool. I know the new models have got stuff as well, but it's just something about the metal ones, the fact they went to the FF are really sculpted and stuff. But yeah, they're eventually going to be for a 4th squad, which will actually be in a 2nd platoon of another 35 men. So, but they're just there for now, and for current games I'll just sort of swap them with the other teams, or maybe take 2 riflemen out of this and add them to that squad, or vice versa, see how we do. What's next? Then we have the mortars. Struggled to get the original metal mortar. This is the only original one I was able to buy. Again, managed to get it quite cheap. I prefer that. It looks a bit more bulky, a bit more hardcore compared to the more modern plastic Cadian ones. But again, it's still cool, still works, More's more. But that's the battle tactics for these guys is basically they're going to sit quite far back and just hammer the opponent with round after round of mortars each turn. That's their plan. They're not really going to move anywhere. There's be a constant sort of barrage. So when the enemy are charging, of course, I'm going to be sort of taking them out with round after round of them. That's the plan. Got a couple of little Ratling snipers. These are the classic models. I like the new ones and the old ones. I do plan on getting both sets. For the moment, I'll keep myself busy. Just going to sort of get the old ones, get a full squad of 5. Bases haven't had a lot of detail. They've been painted grey. I'm going to sort of sand and put grass and stuff, maybe like trees and all sorts of detailed bits, make them look a bit more otherworldly. But there we go. But he's all camoed up. A bit different to the rest of the army, a bit camoed up, but he's got the white bags and stuff, just to try and time him in with the army a little bit, and he's got a red bandana, just to make him look a bit more uniform with the army, make it look like he's been given this sort of stuff before he's sort of, requested for the mission that he's undertaking. Then we've got another little one here. He's a cool little model, like him. He comes with some sergeant stripes and things on, and he's got like an old style sort of red coat on, so again it sort of works in perfectly. So I'll kind of make them look a bit mismatched, like they've come with their uniforms and stuff, their sort of combat fatigues. And then this army have come along and said, no, you've got to wear something to represent us. So it's kind of a cool little mismatch. I like that. It gives them a bit of depth, a bit of character. Then we've got the first Sentinel, first of 3 eventually when we get round to it. Armed with a las cannon. It's got a hunter killer missile. Again, you can't go wrong with them. Brilliant. I've gone for a green colour scheme to the glass and torches, because the modern tanks, like nowadays in our real world, they don't use bright colours. Warhammer Games Workshop, they have bright blue glass, bright blue torches and things. But of course, the real tanks, they have greens, real dark hues of colour, so they can't be seen in night fighting and night attacks, and when they're just sneaking about and stuff, they don't have bright lights shining. So I went for green for that, just to make them a bit more realistic. Got some transfers on and stuff. The base is brown, as you can see. I've yet to sort of redo that grey, but I've got some spent shotgun shells, discarded shotgun. Try to make it look like someone that had the last stand there, and then the Sentinel's coming along after. Cool little touch. And his foot's slightly elevated to make it look like he's standing over that bit of slate. So, first Sentinel. I plan on having another 2. I'm thinking of either having them so they've each got a different weapon, one with a flame, one with a multi-laser maybe, or something like that. I might magnetise, I'm not sure as yet, we'll see. So, first Leman Russ. This is an original kit Leman Russ. This is the old school ones. Absolute pain to get the chain links all worked up and glued together properly, but it works, it's cool. Named after my mum, Sally B, there you go. They've got the tally charts there of all the enemy that's been destroyed by each cannon. Try to get a bit more flavour, a bit of character and things. Got some cool stuff on the back. Of course it all moves and works and things. Got some bits and bobs in the back there, make it look a bit more realistic. I've got a little tank set on eBay, all the metal extras and things that used to come in the old sets and that. Bit of red. I'm going to have a number there to make it a bit more realistic, but again, a little bit of red just to tighten the overall theme of the army. As you can see, I'm just going for battle cannon and las cannon, just keeps them short, sweet and simple. I don't really bother with the extras until this one. Eventually this is going to be the command tank as such, but got multi-melters, las cannon, and of course the demolisher cannon. He will sort of be the command tank, and if not, if I run him as a squadron, if not, he'll just be a standalone tank. But he just looks more kitted out, just for a fluff reason. Again, a bit of red on the back, just to give it a bit more sort of character to tighten the army. Again, more the metal tank extras that they made years and years ago. Got them on eBay, getting all sorts of little extras and things, and moved it around a bit and stuff. Looks really cool, really chuffed with it. This one's named after my lovely wife, Stacey W there, look, brilliant. And the last tank is a modern, well that's a modern one as well, but then a modern Leman Russ standard design. Haven't finished this one yet, this is just literally as it is, just done, simple standard tank. I'm going to add some extras and bits and bobs, rifles stuck on the side, things like that. And again, just a las cannon, battle cannon, simple, just like that. Eventually that one's going to be named after my aunt, so I'll probably call that Jane as well. All going to have female names for the army, like the old World War II boys used to do. But there you go, that is my Imperial Guard, Astra Militarun, Mordian Ironguard army. That's a very rough guess, it's about 1,000 points, give or take, maybe more. To be honest, I've not really tallied it up properly, but yeah, it's a good little solid fighting force, good starting. And there you go, thanks for watching guys. Comment, any suggestions, any tips, anything you like or don't like about the army, let me know. And thanks for watching, thanks very much, very kind, very appreciated all the time. It's always nice to get support and have a little watch and things, and nice to share my hobby with you guys. So take care, thanks again, and see you soon.